So I watched Predators tonight. Um, and I guess the thesis of this video is whether or not you, as a sort of average human being, should you watch Predators anytime in the near future? And the short answer to this question is sure. Not no, not yeah, but sure. I think you could definitely watch Predators. I watched it on Disney Plus. I think it might be available through their Hulu package, so it might be on Hulu. If you have the combined package, you can probably get it on either one, but if you only have Hulu, it might only be on. I'm not going to get into the details of that. You, as a person, can probably figure out whether or not you have access to Predators streaming. If you don't have access to it easily, if you would need to go out of your way to watch it, as a general rule, I would say no, you should not watch it, because I don't think it's worth any sort of special trouble to seek out. I don't think it's a movie that should be sought after. But if it's sort of right in front of you, if you maybe own it on disc, pop it in, why not? Although if you own it on disc, chances are you already enjoy it as a film, so you don't need me to tell you to watch it. You're already sort of inclined to. And I think you're probably in a sort of remarkable low percentage of the world if you're the sort of person that owns Predators on disc in the year 2025. I set a timer for 5 minutes, and that was my limit for this video, so I have to really pick up the pace on this. Why is my answer to should you watch Predators a sure? Because it's fine. It is a solid action movie, R-rated action movie, which I think makes it more interesting. And it's not a very interesting movie outside of that, is what I would say. But for me, there was a sort of charm in watching it as a person who has watched movies that have been released in the past 15 years. Predators came out 2010, was the third sort of like official sequel in the Predator franchise. Haven't seen Predator, haven't seen Predator 2, haven't seen the Alien vs. Predators movie. Rewatched Prey actually right before watching Predators, but I didn't feel the sort of desire to talk about that the way that I feel to talk about Predators. So that's why I've chosen to talk about Predators. So I'm by no means a fan of this franchise. I think if you are a fan of the franchise, you probably have a lot more specific thoughts on, is this good? Should you watch this movie? If you're a fan of the franchise, probably it's a no, but to the fans of the franchise, I'm not speaking to you, I'm speaking to the people sort of who are at my point, which is not a fan of the franchise. And I think that in 2010, when this film was released, it was probably baseline a bad action movie. A lot of the action was augmented with sort of CG. There was one of the first big action set pieces as they fight off these sort of alien dogs. And those alien dogs are the most computer-generated things that I have seen in recent memory. Actually, that's a lie, because I watched Fantastic Four, the first steps in recent memory. So that sort of takes precedent over the CG dogs. But especially compared to, I think, the love that a lot of people had for the practical effects from the first movie. I don't know, I haven't seen the first movie, but I assume that's why people like it. The pivot to a more generic sort of action vocabulary, like fight choreography, probably was not exciting. And the characters are nothing super great to write home about. They're relatively shallow. Adrian Brody, who plays the main character, is interesting to watch. I don't know if it's a good performance, but you kind of maybe will chuckle at it a little bit. But the unique thing about Predators is that in the current sort of ecosystem, it's better than most of the action movies that have been released in the past 15 years, because the general quality of action has decreased so badly since 2010. So sure, watch it. That's my video.